Chacha obi biara eda mase se mugusu etie ayeho TV. Eya mwankasa moba very good ena chese matase. Ensama ekoso ewa ye my Ghana ha ena medibi ebedomo na monsumo hu sedie eye Ghana esi eko ebane aye amayosem dia. Eye US officials ena a petition ede ama eye IMF na before say ye be ko sansem we ne ye mbura ensem we before say ansana ye de da update ne abedomo na ni na say eye 2024 ye nitia eye NDC for omo campaign so far omo eye eniomo omo kan say omo ba omo ebeye na eno na chese 2025 ya men child ye de John Dramani Mahama ebesi so as president na eye na say na chese eye can say ato forcing a chese ye finance minister ebe kan eye budget for 2025 na it seems say and someone NDC for a kind ebi wo mu a omo astarte approve na say kwa na John Dramani Mahama akosan efa eye levy betting taxes no a chese wa council a magana for ye nyina ye bo ahusie ewo eye timamu ga ye nyina ye ni age ewo eye Ghana. Now right now and someone koso sisi ya say NDC for and someone na omo can say ex-president Nanado Dankwa Akufo-Addo and the Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia ebetina say it seems say omo bo eka economy omo kan economy said ye economy ni asi ayabasa economy ni ay had a whole lot and it just say NDC for eba ye ne chese omo ye ne omo kan na eno na chese omo chese ato forcing any John Dramani Mahama chese na say omo bai ena omaye omaje say omo etuetia saa enkane bi efiwo esan say nanado abro eka edi egu a chese enya asem ketwa na sansem we ena chese US officials for ne ete ya omo chese NDC propaganda ensem a chese entrio sema omo kan ato forcing budget a obema ya o chese woni John Dramani Mahama eka no omo ne etuetia ni nyina eyentro nti ebeya IMF for enya se omo ema Ghana for esika esan se omo gusu ema omo sika no kwa omo hu eya empuntu ana se omo hu development a ekoso ewo eye Ghana ha nti US officials na chese na IMF for ama eye Ghana for eye sika bio ebusia yemura ensem ne mu bi.
First of all, I think these discussions probably should take place behind closed doors. It's a little worrying when the U.S. ambassador goes to the people and bring these issues up and sort of try to put pressure on the government. We have to understand that there's a new government that has come in, facing lots of challenges. And, I think the government situation is something that is well known. Ghana's debt problems are well known. I think perhaps it would be important for government to clearly come up with a plan on how these debts are going to be resettled. But these are not things that these are not discussions you have in the public. So I wish that it was taking place, the discussions were taking place behind closed doors. I think if the U.S. ambassador is concerned about its impact on investors, I think it's actually her approach that will actually retain investors more, because she's the one who is bringing this up too much into the public domain and making it a topic for discussion. Having these discussions with the media will not necessarily be the one that will bring the solution of the payment.
Right.
I think raising this with the government and then getting the government to come up with a clear plan for paying these debts will probably be
right. With respect to the conversations in the media, we know that in January of this year, it was reported quite widely, this letter which was written by the U.S. Senator asking that the third tranche, which was expected to be disbursed to the country, be used to settle these debts. And so already that's been out in the open. The concern that could come from there is that if that was widely reported and 2 months on, it does appear there's still that sentiment being shared from the U.S. government where the ambassador expresses a bit of concern on that side. we should be expecting a bit more action from our government, considering U.S. support is quite important in all of our IMF dealings?
Well, you have to understand that the IMF program, government has signed on a specific program, and the funds are designed for specific purposes. Paying debt owed to American companies is not one of them. That's not to say the government of Ghana should not be paying it. The government of Ghana should be paying it, and the government of Ghana should be more responsible than allowing debt to move to the extent that we have these public discussions. I'm just saying that that first approach of trying to say the fund disbursement from the IMF should be used to pay American companies, I don't think that's not really a right understanding of what the program is about. That said, I have no idea what, the first time this came up, don't forget that the government is not even 3 months, and the government is still being formed. There are still some positions that have not been shown yet. I think having raised it the first time, perhaps, the government should have been given a little bit more time to settle in. And then perhaps the U.S. ambassador could have raised it with the finance minister or the president or the vice or anybody, so that they begin to see specific plans for how these debts are going to be paid. For me, that would be a more effective way without bringing all the attention that comes with it. That's
right.
what society should be there for.
But even away from the conversations of the IMF, there's that concern about foreign direct investment coming through for us as a country, where we are, the situation we are in, where we continue to appeal for a lot more business interests to settle in. The arguments being made is that when we continue to owe these companies, not just U.S. companies, but companies from elsewhere money, then we're not doing ourselves good in terms of the imagery that businesses will come here.
Viewers, I'm totally shocked by this development. This is the campaign that we just ran in Ghana, where the National Democratic Congress was campaigning about corruption and anti-corruption. As it is with every election, corruption is always on the center. What is shocking me is some of these individuals. Look at this, what appears to be almost quote-unquote robbery of the taxpayer. Members of Parliament, now the NDC, have taken this to Parliament because for a reason. Did I say because for a reason? Yes, they've taken this to Parliament because of a reason. What is the reason? The reason, as we have been told, is that there's concern from the 188 members of Parliament of the NDC who did not secure ministerial positions. They are not likely to secure board positions. They are not securing deputy ministerial positions, and therefore they don't have any executive authority where they have the power of the pen to sign signature and also the budget to run with. And so they feel that there will be pressure on them from their constituents, given that everyone knows that they are members of the ruling party, and they may lose their primaries. So, as it has been said to us, it appears that there's a plan from the Ministry of Finance to make sure that, and viewers, listen to this. This is what we have been told. We hope that is not true, but it looks like many people believe it. We just hope that it's not. It's just too bad to be true, but we just hope that it's not true. But everyone who tells us believes it. Now, the story is that the NDC at the Ministry of Finance level is telling the MPs that when we bring things to finance Parliament, please vote for it, because there's a consternations going on from the backbenchers that will teach the NDC a lesson. They won't give us anything. We'll teach them a lesson. When they bring a bill, we'll fail. We'll make sure the bill fails, and they have the numbers to do so. So upon this, what looks like a pseudo threat, the Ministry of Finance and the NDC and the Ministry of Finance have decided that every quarter they will make sure that there's some paperwork, some process to give every member of Parliament, hear this viewers, 400,000 cedis of the taxpayers' money every quarter. This is what we just hope that is not true. Now, this is how they started. They said Akufo-Addo was a thief, that Akufo-Addo was corrupt, Akufo-Addo was this. For the 8 years that Akufo-Addo was president, did you ever hear him go to Parliament and say, pay parliamentarians 200,000 cedis to do a Get Fund project, and on top of that, pay them 150,000 cedis to supervise the project? Akufo-Addo was using Get Fund proceeds to educate people, including Justice Srem Sai, the Deputy Attorney General. Let me say it again. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, former president of Ghana, was using the Get Fund resources to educate Ghanaians from all walks of life. Whether you are blue, you are red, you are Akan, you are Gan, you are Mosi, you are Dagomba, you are Mamprusi, you are Kusasi, you are Sisala. Akufo-Addo was using Get Fund money to educate Ghanaians abroad, including Justice Srem Sai, who is today the Deputy Attorney General. That's what Akufo-Addo was doing with Get Fund money. Guess what the NDC, who don't like corruption, who said Akufo-Addo is a thief, is doing with Get Fund money? They are paying 250,000 cedis to MPs, members of parliament, 250,000 cedis, that they should take the money and do a project, daycare center, library. Then they are giving them 150,000 cedis to supervise the project. All together, guess what? They are giving them 400,000 cedis in total. And so it fits into the rumor that we have heard that they are planning. This is the righteous NDC, the clean NDC, anti-corrupt NDC. K. Salatu Forsen is going to collect some of this money. Look at Okujeto Ablakwa here. Ablakwa, you were shouting on everybody that they are corrupt. You mounted a platform against Brian Achampon that he's corrupt. The committee listened to you and they canceled the thing. Congratulations. You mounted something against now you are going to take 400,000 cedis into your pocket for all the money you have at foreign ministry. Honorable Ablakwa, but why? All the money you get at foreign ministry, you are going to fleece the taxpayer of 400,000 cedis again? That you are going to use it. The projects you do at your constituency, are they not more expensive than this? Can't you stand up for once? Can't you stand up for what you believe in, Ablakwa? In thy light we shall see light. Can't you stand up for what you believe in? The so-called anti-corruption that you say you believe in. Can't you rise up in parliament and say, Mr. Speaker, I will not take this money? Can't you do that? You cannot do that. You are fleecing the taxpayer of 400,000 into your pocket. Oh boy, oh NDC. NDC. Is that the change we want? Is that the change we voted for? Is that the Ghana we want? That the so-called corrupt Akufo-Addo took the Get Fund money and gave it to Ghanaians to go and study abroad, including Srem Sai, who admitted at his vetting that the Get Fund funded him. You think the time the Get Fund was funding him and he was a lecturer, they didn't know that he was NDC. They knew that he was NDC. But Akufo-Addo said it doesn't matter. Whether it's NDC or it's MPP, doesn't matter. Take him abroad. After Srem Sai went abroad, he came to teach at the Faculty of Law. He has imparted many students. He's a fantastic lecturer. His PhD was aided by Get Fund because he's a Ghanaian. This is Akufo-Addo. They said he was corrupt. Ablakwa. Now the Get Fund money, they are not giving it to Ghanaians anymore. They are taking it to parliament and sharing it for their people. So Okuyeto Ablakwa should bow down his head in shame. After standing on the high horse of anti-corruption, you come to parliament and first 3 months you are collecting for. Listen to the ridiculousness of it. Give them 200,000 to go and do a project. You, the MP, you take 200,000, you go to your constituency and start building a project in your name or whatever it was. In your constituency name, your father's name, mother's name, the party's name, party chairman's name, constituency. You can do it however you want. Now, when we are giving you taxpayers' money to go and do the project, say a library, we are also giving you money to supervise it. What is the meaning of supervising it? What does it mean? Supervising it means what? You are building a house for yourself and your constituents. We have given you the money. It's not your money, our money. We must also pay you to supervise it. This is what NDC have brought to Ghana. 8 years of Akufo-Addo, we never heard this. Never did we hear this in 8 solid years of Akufo-Addo. The most demonized president in Ghana because of Ablakwa's press conferences. Ablakwa, he's taking 400,000 of taxpayers' money to pocket it. And they are going to do that every quarter, from what we hear. I sincerely hope that is not true. A+ is the one who surprises me the most. A+, he shocks me the most. A+ was sitting on UTV every Saturday. I was watching. I don't miss that UTV program. Hey, I don't miss it. I can imagine A+ sitting down at the UTV program and this story has broken. And he said, "Nana train, na in kwasi assembly and meeting of parliament no cry minti bi da nana train." What asema eba? Yes, MP bi anje 200,000 on fan the constituency. Orienso ayensa ma no 150,000. No fan ko hwe nana ma as what's my name by the guy's name? Kojo Sheldon says, "It bust my mind. A+ then and amuye Ghana fosi kasa." Ghana for sika na wo kan wasem no. What na parliament and I would di 400,000. What be that? I mean, what is this? What is this? And frankly, Kujo is quiet.